Tower to Snowbirds. Wave as you go over Stanley Park. DownieLive's living there right now.
This is the house that I'm living in, and just over this way is the seawall and the ocean and the mountains. And I really want to show you like where specifically this house is. The problem is I can't put my drone up. These seaplanes literally come straight over this house. Actually, I think the Canadian Snowbirds are in town. They're flying over Vancouver. They might be able to get a good shot. Let's see if we can go up with them. That would work well. Oh, my HelloFresh box arrived. This is perfect because today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh. So what a coincidence that this is here. There's not really any grocery stores nearby, so it's always difficult getting food. But when they deliver, that's a win for everybody. We all wish that we could live out of our own gardens, but they're just not quite ready yet. One of the other nice things about HelloFresh, other than the delivery, is the fact that they understand that you might be going somewhere for the weekend, like your cottage, and you don't want to meal prep for your weekend away. So they take care of that, and all you have to do is change the address on your account, and they'll ship it to your cottage rather than your house. And once they're ready, no one says I can't add these tomatoes onto my HelloFresh meal. So I'm gonna open it up and show you what's inside. Okay, so we have gochujang bacon fried rice with bok choy, 6-step instructions, super simple to follow. The nice thing is everything's already pre-packaged for you, pre-measured, so you pretty much just have to add it and cook it. And in your big refrigeration bag are your proteins. Let's cook. I'm working in a new kitchen I've never cooked in before. Where do they keep the measuring cups? Nope. Got it. I don't know about you, but I like my bacon crispy.
I'm okay with not that crispy.
Well, you're not cooking that, so, you know.
Okay.
Just kidding. Oh yeah. First we'll add in the onions, then we'll add in the edamame. I feel like a chef. Like I feel like I know what I'm doing with this. Adding the garlic puree, add carrots. Now time to add the gochujang sauce. This is what we're making, gochujang stir fry. Add all the soy sauce, then you add your bacon. Now to make the stir fry, you need rice.
Smells fresh.
And in just 25 minutes, you have your delicious gochujang bacon fried rice. If you want to try HelloFresh, there's a link for you down below, and you can use the discount code Downie16 to get 16 free meals plus free shipping on the first box. It's there for you. This could be yours. Actually, let's go see if we can get that aerial shot from the Snowbirds. Because today is not an air show, you won't be changing formations, I assume. Will you be holding one formation the whole time?
So we can actually change formation from one to another, but we're not allowed to do any acrobatics. Because when we do acrobatics, we're supposed to have a box underneath that there's nothing. No pedestrian, no cars, no boats, no planes, nothing. That's why we just do a flyby like this.
So no loop-de-loops today?
No loops.
And so seats too, does your luggage go in one seat, or do you have a luggage compartment?
Actually, our luggage compartment is this.
That's it. Oh, it's actually a really easy screw to pop off. That's it.
So as you can see, that's all our luggage that we carry around.
That's like a glove box in an SUV. That's it.
It's not big. Before we get in an aircraft, we have to make sure we're looking at all our emergency gear. So we have a parachute.
You wear this? Or
yes, so we wear our parachute with us all the time. An aircraft is going to be different. The F-18, his parachute is inside the ejection seat. Yeah. So we have an oxygen bottle with us. It's attached to our helmet.
Do you breathe with oxygen all the time, or
yes,
only at high altitude?
All the time.
And today you're going to be flying at 1,000 meters.
1,000 feet.
1,000 feet. That's only 300 meters above ground level.
That's our LPSV. It's basically a
flotation.
If you fly in the water. Right. There's a lot of water here.
A lot of water.
We have our smoke tanks here, and our smoke tank left and right. So it's never inside the engine, it's just at the exit. It's good to be able to finish what we started last year. Like to go around Canada again and continue up inspiration. Like yeah. And it's kind of an honor for us to continue what Jen started last year. Yeah. It's great to be able to continue her legacy and carry that on, and also see the outpour of love that from the Canadian population. Like everyone loves to see us, and we love to do that for them as well. Right. So it's a give.
Oh, that's great. So this is Gabriel. He's gonna take us up in the air today. I'm not gonna go up, but you are. Time for us to clear back. It's gonna get loud. Gosh, that's loud. So, as you get to go up with the Snowbirds and I don't, Here are a few things I learned about them in preparation for coming out to meet them today. Today is a very rare day where they are being joined by a 10th member. This is a CF-18 from the Canadian Forces CF-18 demonstration team. Now, they're often seen as a competitor at local air shows, but today they've come together for Operation Inspiration, to fly over all the hospitals in the Lower Mainland as a thank you to our frontline responders during the COVID pandemic. Now, what makes the Snowbirds so impressive is the fact that they fly wingtip to wingtip without touching. You see, these planes have a cockpit that seats two, but you can fly the plane from either seat. Because one of the most fascinating parts of flying like this is that the pilots don't look forward. Look over at our pilot here and notice that he's only looking at the plane to his right. Each pilot maintains their distance and speed according to one plane next to them. And that pilot is doing the same to the plane next to them. And each pilot just has to watch one plane, except for the leader, who guides the group. Now this way, only the leader has to worry about their direction, speed, and calling the formation changes, while each other pilot only has to worry about one plane next to them and trust that the pilot on the other side is doing the same. Oh, now we're coming up to Stanley Park, and hopefully we can get a good look at the house we're staying in. It's a little hard to say from up here. You'll have to bring the footage down to me and I'll review it on the ground. They really are incredibly talented professionals up here, and I love that they have crossed Canada to thank our frontline workers. So whether you are a grocery clerk, nurse, teacher, volunteer, or just a pilot here looking to make people smile, thank you for all you've done to keep us safe and positive. How cool is that? What? I'm going through all the footage and I am so jealous of you right now, the fact that you got to experience that while I stayed at the airport. But rewind for a second. Can we talk about the fact that they all take off together and then they had a CF-18 flying with them over Vancouver, over the hospitals? What an incredible experience. But for the sake of showing you where this house is in the park, couldn't really get a good look. So there's gotta be another way I can do that. Something slower, maybe?
So where do you want to go?
Can you fly over the house in Stanley Park?
There's a house in Stanley Park? Let's do a couple loops to see if we can spot it.
Sounds good. While we fly out there, I might as well tell you a bit about it. Stanley Park was the city's first official park when Vancouver incorporated in 1886. It was set aside for military fortifications to protect the entrance to the Vancouver harbor. Now the park is leased to the city by the federal government for just a loonie a year, or $1 if you're not Canadian. Now, I know I'm trying to show you the only house in Stanley Park, but in fact, the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh nations had villages and settlements in the park that were forcefully removed to make way for Stanley Park Drive that loops around the park. So this might be the only house that currently remains, but it definitely wasn't the only house that ever was in the park. Now, speaking of which, I think we're coming up on it now. It should be just past the Brockton Point Lighthouse, but before the Lionsgate Bridge, kind of on the north side of the cricket pitch there. And there it is. Oh, you can barely see it as it's tucked into the trees. Wow. Man, look out at the rest of the city. We are so lucky here in Vancouver to have this combination of modern city wedged between the mountains and the ocean. I really do love this place. Honestly, Vancouver will always be home for me. Well, speaking of home, I guess we'll just take this back to the airport and I'll meet you back at the house. Okay, so the helicopter got us a little bit of a better look, but not really what I'm going for, so we'll use the 9 o'clock gun as a landmark. Follow me and I'll show you where the house is. Okay, using the 9 o'clock gun as our landmark, we're going to turn to our right. We are now walking west along the Stanley Park seawall. On your right, you will go past the Harry Jerome statue. We'll also go past the Hallelujah Point right here. As we're coming up to the crosswalk, which would take you normally to the totem poles, we're going to angle across a little bit to the left, go through the parking lot. We are now at the lower cricket pitch. Simply walk across this field. We're now up on the upper cricket pitch. And those lights straight ahead of us, those are the lights from the front porch of our house. Yes, just that 5-minute walk, and this is the house. So now you know where it is. All right, now that we know where the house is, I think you're gonna like next week's video because it's all about what it's actually like to live in Stanley Park, especially because it's closed every night at 10 p.m. and I have to convince the park rangers. I'm house sitting at the groundskeeper house for David.
Oh, are you?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Are you sure?
yeah, I've got the key in my pocket. So if you're new to the channel, I'm Mike, it's DownieLive. Subscribe, because it's gonna be pretty interesting next week. We're gonna be here, so I'm not gonna say my normal line, but we're gonna call it a night. You can stay here. Good night. If you have any more questions for him, you can leave them in the comments below or just follow them on Instagram at CF Snowbirds. Gabe, thanks for having me out. It was awesome.
Likewise.
Tower to Snowbirds. Wave as you go over Stanley Park. DownieLive's living there right now.